The following show may cause you to think differently. Welcome to Sing Out Loud with Ella Glasgow, the show where we highlight people who are doing just that. From authors to coaches to artists and everyone in between, the guests on this show have found a way to push past their fears and truly live life out loud. And through their stories and service to the world, are encouraging you to do the same. Joining the conversation today as our featured guest and on the artist stage is actress, voiceover artist, and coach Alex Covington. And I'm your host, Ella Glasgow, and it's time for you to sing out loud.
I see everything I can see. I'm not waiting on tomorrow. There's no time left to borrow. I'm not waiting for that.
Everybody, I am super excited to have one of my fave people with us on the show today. Her name is Alex Covington. She has been a friend of mine for a number of years, and just pardon us if we have a little catch-up session today as we bring some greatness to you. But like I said, her name is Alex Covington, and she is a comedic actress and a voiceover artist, and she has a vlog on YouTube highlighting her adventures of acting in New York City. And she's also an acting coach for musical theater and has her own studio. So please welcome with me to the studio today, Miss Alex Covington.
Oh, Ella, it is so great to be on your show. I'm honored and just like thrilled to kind of be in the same room with you.
Virtually in the same room. I'm super excited that we had this time to be together today because we've got so much to catch up on and so much to talk about and so much to share with the people that are watching today. So I want to start. I know that I said that you know that you're a coach and you're a musical theater coach and you're an actress and you're in New York. But before we get into all of that, I know some of your story.
Yeah.
And I remember, because I was there for some of it, Lord, the trials and tribulations
Oh, man.
of trying to be, not trying, but stepping into where you are now.
Yeah.
So can you just give us like a short recap of
Everything up to now.
everything up to now?
Okay. Well, first off, I think it's really important to start off this whole thing with acknowledging the fact that being an artist of any kind is a journey. Let me tell you, there is no book on how it all is going to go down. You really just have to follow your heart and keep putting one foot in front of the other because you just don't know which path it's going to end up going down, but in the best way, in the best way.
Yeah.
Okay, so try to do this really fast. Okay, so I was born in Houston, Texas, grew up in Southern California. I always was a singer first, musical theater, actress first. I did all community theater, did it all through school, always loved it, never didn't love it. And once I got I went to an acting program here in New York. That's what brought me to New York City. And I just dreamed of living on the East Coast and living in New York. Once I got done with my acting school, I started working regionally in musical theater and did that and had adventure with that of, hardly surviving at times because I was literally living off of what I had made from the last show, which is not a lot, let me tell you. Musical theater regionally does not necessarily pay a lot and they end. So it was like I would finish a gig, come back to New York, scrape away and then go away for another gig. Anyway, I did that for several years up until getting my equity card, which was kind of a main goal for me. Right. And I played great roles, leading roles in incredible shows like Rent. I was Mimi in Rent, believe it or not.
I remember.
So outside the box for me, but it was one of the best experiences of my life.
It was amazing.
Amazing.
It made me cry.
Oh, that's right. You were there, and you gave me one of the best compliments after that show. You were so moved. It was amazing. I played Chrissy in Hair, which is a little much closer to home, which was awesome. I played Ilsa in Spring Awakening. These are like dream roles and dream shows. Okay, so now I'm back in New York, and I just kind of started to kind of look outside of just the musical theater box, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
And I ended up auditioning for a comedic web series that was going to be on YouTube, and I booked it, and we shot that for 3 years.
I remember that too. Oh my gosh.
Yes, which is crazy.
That's
I
crazy.
had no
That's
idea.
that long.
And see, that's an example of like, I just auditioned for that on a whim, going, all right, well, I'm equity now, and I'm doing pretty good in the musical theater world. Let me just try some on camera just to see what's up. And I ended up doing it for 3 years, and it gave me so much, because I had never really done comedy and improv and that quirky space, or any on camera. And it just made me realize, like, I love this. This is amazing. And kind of sent me down a path of taking improv and exploring that whole side of myself, which I have found is actually closest to who I am.
That's awesome.
Funny how that is. I also stumbled into voiceover, which is a whole other story, how that kind of happened. So anyway, now I kind of find myself with a much more expanded view of my career. And I don't know, is that good enough?
Yeah, that's awesome. That's awesome. So tell me, I keep referencing the fact that, we have a long history together, and that's it's crazy to think about how many years it's been.
No.
But tell me that moment that you recognized that, not that musical theater was not good for you, and not that it was a bad place to be.
No.
But tell me that moment that you recognized that there was more in you.
More in me as an artist, or just more in me in general?
In general, as an artist and in life, because you've expanded in ways that I don't know that a lot of people realize that they can do, and not just survive, but actually thrive, because that's what you're doing now. Yeah. So when was that moment that you saw it, and did you make the decision to step in at the same moment?
I don't think I actually made the decision to step in it. I mean, I think on some level, me as a human being, I'm of course an artist. I literally have been forever. I mean, there was never a time that I struggled with my purpose. Like, I've always known that was my purpose. But there's also a whole other side of who I am, which is I'm a motivator, and I'm an enhancer of other people. And I really actually want to see success for other people. And I think my studio was a huge part of that side of me that happened. I was in between the lean years of my musical theater life. I would find that I just wasn't happy when I was doing these random survival jobs that had nothing to do with who I was. Mm-hmm. Being a waitress, being a hostess, and I could smile at people and sit them down at their table, but it wasn't giving me anything. And around that time, actually a good friend of mine, another actress, she had asked me to coach her on a song. We had taken a class together, and she felt that I was good at the storytelling aspect of musical theater in particular. Mm-hmm. She asked me, she's like, I'm going to rent a studio in the city. Will you come and coach me on my song? So I was just kind of like, okay, So I go and I do it, and I have a blast doing it. First of all, I actually enjoy it. And she got so much out of it. And, we were taking a bus home, and she said to me, you're really good at this. Like, you should do this. You should have this be what you do when you're not acting. And it literally was like a light bulb moment. And the next day I posted an ad. and I started. And I've been so I started my studios called Find Your Honesty Acting Through Song.
Right.
And it's just simply the acting side of creating a musical theater performance. And I mean, I started it in 2012.
Oh my gosh.
And I've been doing that consistently, stably, and it has given me so much. Not only am I always happy because all of my work is something that feeds into what I am, but yeah, I mean, I don't know, that's it. It's just it's given me that stability in a way that I really enjoy. So
I think something that you just said is a key piece.
yeah,
All of your work feeds into who you are.
yeah,
If everybody could just grab on to that,
yeah,
that's not about having to let go of everything or having to deny yourself that artistic side of you, whatever that may be.
right.
You don't have to deny it. Everything that you do should feed into it so that you can be fully yourself.
Exactly. And I can control my schedule too, you know, like I can, you know, and honestly, a part of the studio too has yet to occur in my life, but I know that family is very important to me.
Mm-hmm.
And I definitely want to be a mom and I want to have a family, you know, and I actually, a part of starting my studio was for that purpose. I kind of saw future me and I was like, there's going to be chunks of time where I am not able to act, you know, like physically.
Right. Right.
Physically. So what can I be doing that still feeds me and still gives me what I am? And I knew that would be my studio too. So you're absolutely right. You know, musical theater will always be a huge passion of mine. I still want to be on Broadway. I still want to have that be a big part of my artistic experiences. But it's not all that I am.
Mm-hmm.
I'm definitely capable of the whole spectrum of being an actor, but I'm also a lot more just as a person,
Right.
you know?
Isn't that a freeing thing?
It is.
To recognize that you can just be you and live in what it is that you are creating and that's being created around you without worrying about how to make all of that happen.
Totally. Yeah.
It's one of the most freeing moments that I think that I've had in the past couple of years to recognize that particular thing. And in that, what would you say has been the biggest challenge for you in staying in that place? Because it's very easy for us to step out of it, out of that knowledge and seeing that it's there. But yeah, what's that challenge for you?
The challenge of not staying in that space where I'm myself and also doing what I do. I'm not really sure. I think sometimes I can be tempted to only think of some sort of short-term thing that I want to experience. You know, like I could go like, oh, there's a show in a musical theater production in Kansas, and I really love that role, and I really love that show, and oh, I should go out for it. But it would take me away from my soulmate and my person, who I haven't mentioned at all, but I'm in love. Thank you. Take me away from that, which is a really important part of my life. And we would make that work, but it would put a little strain.
Mm-hmm.
It would take me away from all these other things that I'm building. It would take me away from my television and film life, my voiceover life, away from that representation that I have that's cooking, my studio, you know, so I kind of have to look at things from a little bit more of a big picture place.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. Would you say that as artists, sometimes we have a hard time thinking big picture?
Absolutely. Absolutely. I think because we love what we do so much, it's hard to have faith that if you don't do this thing right now, there's going to be something else that makes even more sense or that fits the whole picture. But I think some of that is growing up a little bit too. You know, I think when you're 20 and you're just starting out, like you kind of should be just looking at the next thing right now that you need to do. But I think once you're a little bit older than that, like, you know, you're creating a career. I always say that, you know, you're not creating a one-off freelance life where you do one thing and then you have to start from scratch.
Right.
At least I'm not. That's not the kind of life I want to live.
Right.
I want the work that I do to be building a scene that's a stable, established scene so that I'm always good and I'm always working, you know?
Right. Yes, yes. So
Wow.
if there was one thing that you could give to somebody, whether they be an actress, whether they be a singer, whether they be a lawyer, doctor, Indian chief, whatever it is that they be, what is that one thing that you would be able to, that you would like to say to them to help them grasp what it is that you just said about creating a life as opposed to just a moment?
Well, I think just in general, it's important to be very clear about what you want. I don't think you should just fly by the seat of your pants and go with what feels good today. I think you actually should sit down and make some decisions. You know, I really love living my life with intention. Like there's a clear intention behind what I'm doing. It's not just willy-nilly. So I think any of those people should sit down and kind of go, okay, I'm a lawyer, let's say, which I know nothing about, but I'm a lawyer. Why? Why am I a lawyer? First of all, like, what am I trying to create as a lawyer? And then decide that, because that'll fuel being a lawyer. But then from there go, okay, what else can I do with being a lawyer? Oh, well, I'll make a lot of money, so I can support a family, or I can, you know, donate to people in need more, or I can, I don't know, I could live simply and travel a lot, or I don't know, whatever it is that you're trying to do. But I think there should be a bigger look behind whatever it is that you're trying to do. I think that'll help with it.
Yeah, that's awesome. Awesome. Alex, thank you so much for taking time out of what I know is your very busy schedule to join us on the show today. And I am going to lead us now to the artist stage. So, Alex, I know that you are the lead in a new short comedic film, and let us know a little bit about this, because you're going to show this to us on the artist stage today. You are our feature on the artist stage. So what is it that we're about to see?
Sure. So yeah, I play a lead character named Danny in a short film that is actually going to be a part of a web series, but this is sort of the first episode, but it's its own short film called Workplace Woes, Scavengers Among Us. Danny is basically a nice girl who works in an office and has a bite taken out of her lunch every day. Yeah. And it's gotten to the point where it's just out of control, and she basically does what she needs to do to get to the bottom of it. And the film is written and directed by Michael Pisano, and it has been doing incredibly well in the festival circuit. We were in LA in September. We've been to several New York City festivals, and we're heading to another one next week, actually, the New York Shorts Festival. So I'm just really proud of the whole team and how well it's been doing.
Thank you. I'm so excited. Okay, here we go. Let's watch Workplace Woes.
Well, I don't...
Jake Thompson.
I'm on the phone.
Jake Thompson. He's been stealing my food this whole time.
Hey, I'm gonna have to call you back. Yeah, bye.
Oh my God.
That's impossible. He's our boss.
No, it's true. I'm gonna prove it. And oh God, there's gotta be like an HR rule. How about this? Like food harassment, right?
I'm begging you here. Take a second, clear your head, just think about what you're doing.
No, I'm gonna blow the lid off this thing. That's what I'm doing.
Don't do it, Danny.
I have to do it.
You'll only get in trouble. Damn it.
That was awesome. Thank you so much for sharing that. And I know that this movie has been released and the web series has been started. So where can people catch up and find out what in the world happened to your food, Danny? What happened to your food?
Unfortunately, it's not actually publicly online anywhere because it's still making its way through the festival circuit. So the only chance you have to see it at this time is to actually go to one of our screenings. You can go to my website, which is alexcovington.com, to kind of find out where it's going to be screened next. We actually have a screening coming up on Monday as part of the New York Shorts Festival. If you live in Manhattan and you want to come and see the whole movie, you totally can. But other than that,
Go.
what?
And I would encourage you to go if you can get there. Okay, so that's all right. We're going to have to just keep following you and get hooked with you so that we can know when this actually becomes the big thing that it's going to become. So
Thank you.
Thanks so much for sharing. So before you go, Alex, there are two things that I ask everybody that comes onto the show. And the first one takes us into what's your fave? So I need to know in all of the things that you have been doing, let's go to this movie. What was your fave moment making this particular film?
Probably there is a confrontation that comes up not long after what you saw. Actually, not with the person that you'd think it would be. It's with a different person in the office. And that was really fun because it was almost like a fight scene.
I've seen your other fight scenes, so now I know that you're really adept at doing fight scenes.
Oh, this isn't like a proper fight scene.
Oh,
This is like one of these kind of fight scenes, which I found to be really fun. And I'm also a terrible fake fighter. I was in a web series called We Might Be Superheroes. That's what you're referring to. And I basically sat around and made jokes while the other character was fighting villains and such. But you're very kind.
you're better than I am at a fake fight scene.
Perhaps. I don't know.
Awesome. Well, the last question that I have for you is in regard to your future. So when you are 97 years old, sitting on the front
so
porch.
short when I'm 97 years old.
Yes, when you're 97, sitting on the front porch of your beautiful home, what would you like to have looked back on your life at having achieved?
Well, three main things come to mind. One is, I saw, like when you said that, I saw in my mind's eye.
I know you did.
I saw myself on Broadway in some amazing role looking out on the audience. I saw myself having been as a series regular on a network television show. Those are kind of the two main things that popped up, actually.
That's awesome.
I also saw family and children and being really proud of that. And also giving back, leaving the world better than when I found it in some kind of a real way. I think those three things.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
If there was one thing that you could leave everyone with, what would that one thing be today?
Today? I was going to say when I'm 93 or today?
Yeah, today.
Today. I think it's important to be passionate, but not serious. Don't take it all so serious that your seriousness freezes you and you aren't able to actually bring yourself to what you do. Let there be space for you and your sensibilities and your sense of humor. So be passionate and work hard, work very hard, but have fun, and yeah, just let there be breath for your naturalness. That's what is really important.
I love it. I love it. Thank you so much, Alex Covington.
You're welcome, Ella.
Who we can find where again? Where can we go and find you?
So you can go to my website. That's a great place to keep up to date with my work as an actress. That's www. I know you don't need it, but I have to give it to you.
Do it.
alexcovington.com. If you're a musical theater artist and you'd love to have some coaching on your acting and connection, you can go to my studio website, which is actingthroughsong.org. I think that's pretty, and you can also find me on the YouTube.
On the YouTube of two.
Yeah, if you just search Alex Covington, you can subscribe to my vlog, which is super fun. I basically take you behind the scenes on my shoots. I chat with you very real about, being an actor and living in New York City. So it's just kind of a fun way to be involved in my life in kind of a personal way.
That's awesome. Thank you so much again, Alex. And everybody, go live passionately. But I have to leave you with the one thing that I say to everyone and how I close every show. So, Alex, I'm going to teach it to you. We throw our deuces up in the air. Okay? And I say, I got stuff to do. You got stuff to do. So go out there and give your dreams a kick in the pants.
Yes.
Deuces. Bye.
Bye.
Pause. I need a cut. I need to write.
Yeah, you did a little cut.
So I can see that quickly.
It's my one day. It's my one day. It's my one day. It's my one day. I'm gonna live it all.